The other day, I asked ChatGPT what it could tell me about the new UCAS Personal Statements for 2026. Of course, it said, before going on to explain that the new personal statement would consist of 6 specific questions. When I suggested that it was wrong and that there would be only 3 questions, it admitted, "You're right," before then listing the wrong 3 questions. AI, you see, gets its information from the wild west of the internet, and clearly on this particular subject, the internet doesn't have a clue what it's talking about. So, instead of trusting AI to sort the truth from the myths, here are 10 actual real true things that you should know about the UCAS Personal Statement for 2026. 1. The new personal statement will consist of 3 sections rather than 1 open box. Each section will have a question to help students know what to write. These questions will be: Question 1, why do you want to study this course or subject? Question 2, how have your qualifications and your studies helped you prepare for this course or subject? And question 3, what else have you done to prepare outside of education, and why are these experiences useful? 2. The overall limit for all 3 questions combined will still be 4,000 characters. Unlike the new UCAS reference, where the 4,000 characters include the section headings, UCAS have been clear that students will be able to use the full 4,000 characters across the 3 sections. 3. For each section, students should write at least 350 characters. Beyond this, they can split the character count across the sections however they want. A good rule of thumb is that for academic courses, students will probably want to write most about their academic studies and related supercurricular activities, so section 2 will probably be the longest. For vocational courses, on the other hand, they'll probably lean more on work experience and extracurriculars, so section 3 might be longer. 4. There is no reason to believe that admissions tutors will use the personal statement any differently to how they did before. Some will use it at the start to decide who to make offers to. Some will use it to decide who gets an interview, and some will use it during the interview itself. Some will use it once all the interviews and tests have been done, while others will only read it to make decisions on near-miss students when A-level results come out. Some won't look at it at all. Sadly, most universities are not very transparent about this, and it will be very difficult to know for sure how your personal statement will be used. 5. While the new structure makes it easier for students to know what to write, I still suggest doing some kind of a brainstorm exercise before starting that writing process. I do think it will be virtually impossible for any student to simply start writing out full answers to the 3 questions without finding themselves going in circles and repeating themselves across the 3 questions. So, students, have a look at the 8 questions in my personal statement guide. They remain a great first step in working out what to put in your statement. I'll give you more information about the free guide at the end of this video. 6. Once they have a long list of things to talk about, students can then work out which question each example fits best into, and work out the structure for each section. It will be very obvious where some examples go, but for other things, students may find it a little tricky to decide which section is most appropriate. In particular, activities known as supercurriculars, these are things that you do outside the classroom but that relate to your studies, could legitimately find their way into any of the 3 sections. Meanwhile, something like work experience could find itself in section 1 as one of the things that has motivated a student's decision. Or it could find itself in section 3 as something a student has done by way of preparation. One great piece of advice on the UCAS website is this: students shouldn't agonize over which section to include information in. The important thing is that it's included, as the statement will be reviewed as a whole. 7. The most challenging aspect of writing the statement remains how to write reflectively. Students need to ensure they use real examples, reflect on them, and make clear how they are relevant. There are a number of models that students can use to help with this, from the what, so what, now what model, through to the learning by doing example. Both of these are included in my personal statement guide. 8. If you're a teacher or an advisor, you don't have to start from scratch preparing teaching and support materials. UCAS have made a start for you. They have PowerPoint slides, lesson plans and activity handouts you can use. And they have downloadable resources and tips specifically for you to share with colleagues, parents and the students themselves. Of course, you can also use my brand new guide, How to Write Your UCAS Personal Statement 2026 edition, and I'll be developing further materials over the coming weeks. 9. What about all of those top personal statement tips that universities and experts have been producing for the last 25 years? Well, you'll be delighted to know that pretty much they are all still 100% valid. 10. Finally, please don't take advice from AI on the new personal statement structure. AI can be terrifically useful for all sorts of things, like helping you brainstorm ideas and reviewing your work. But for the 2026 personal statement structure, there are simply not enough good resources available for AI to look at in order to form a sensible view on what makes a good statement. My experience shows that ChatGPT in particular was clearly getting confused over what were proposed changes, what were actual changes, and what was just rumour and speculation. It got a lot wrong and really can't be trusted. Instead, use sources written by experts and by the universities themselves. For now, check out my brand new guide, How to Write Your UCAS Personal Statement 2026 edition. As well as useful background on how the statement may be used, it will give students a clear step-by-step guide on brainstorming content, choosing which examples to use, writing reflectively, writing and editing your first draft, and getting feedback and advice from others. It really is everything a student needs to write their statement. If you're not already here, you'll find you can download it for free at www.betterunichoices.com. Thank you for watching.